Welcome, Rune here. What if I told you there's an anime you will most likely skip this season? What if I told you can turn into an anime girl without any consequences? Well, I'm glad to tell you I've got the show just for you. If you enjoy the novel concept of the medieval European monarchy reimagined by the ingenious minds of the Japanese, then oh boy, you're in for a treat. Seventh Time Loop takes a stab at the concept from a certain anime where Subaru gets to time warp to his last checkpoint. It allows gamers to reincarnate to a time before getting molested. The twist, however, is there's only one checkpoint. So, from the first episode, we learn the protagonist lived for multiple years after each resurrection, learning along the way. In the past, she engaged in sword art, medicine, jihad, and housework. Each time, she kept dying because of war, caused by this dude. But, this time around, she wants to become the monster breeding stock. Wait, that's a different show. She meets the guy who caused her past deaths.
There is no such thing as a coincidence.
And decides to become his fiancé / hostage. But what is the point of this? Well, it seems this time around her goal is to settle down, put an end to an arranged marriage, escape Philippines, and enjoy the American capitalistic lifestyle in the embrace of the white devil. Speaking of which, he chases this girl after his first encounter and smacks her with a fucking sword. Bad writing? More like inspiration from the Bible. Overall, there's nothing more masculine than watching an anime targeting Japanese teenage girls. I fucking love shoujo anime. Only selected few can appreciate the struggles of the genre. I become one with the character, immerse myself deeply, inhabiting the perspective of the main protagonist. From there, I take the male protagonist's advances towards me like a real man. An aspect I really enjoyed is that she has more character than 90% of modern shonen protagonists. Not to mention, she's more capable than all of them combined. But the bar is low when all they do is stick a cattle prod up their ass and defecate on the floor. What does she do you ask? Well, let's jump into the action. They're in the middle of travel. The carriage gets attacked by some bozos. She gets locked up, picks the lock like it's nothing, then jumps in the middle of the battle. After the fight is over, offers to make medicine for the injured. Notices they have no reason to trust her, poisons herself, and demonstrates the effectiveness of the medicine. Well, if this is what Filipino girls are like, time to get a ticket and bring some back. Imagine what life could be to leave the hospital without having to say goodbye to one of your kidneys. I know, crazy, right? It's almost as if there's but one country in the world that cannot call this a reality. Now, I admit, this is not going to be your favorite anime. For example, there are multiple scenes with a lot of what I can only describe as revenge porn. Personally, I don't enjoy this that much. As a matter of fact, I'd go as far as to say it's unnecessary. But before I get excommunicated, let me say this. I understand the target demographic for this anime is Japanese schoolgirls. As much as I wish that was me, it isn't. I feel bad for the authors of these novels, forced by their editors to use popular gimmicks for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So far, the villainous narrative serves zero purpose, and from what I understand, it probably won't. So, but hey, since it sells, it sells. Characters. The dynamic between the main cast is really enjoyable to watch. Much like the tapeworm inside a healthy body, the romance aspect seems to develop organically throughout time. As someone with an extremely limited real-life experience, in my watch time, I managed to cringe only once. So, I'd say it's pretty good. However, it does feel like some characters feel completely out of place. This guy feels like the only reason he's alive is only for this very moment. I did not read the source material. I hope I'm wrong. Personally, I think his entire existence might scare off some viewers after the first few minutes. My advice: first episode is perfect to watch on the toilet. The art looks extremely generic, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Look, if you enjoyed Overflow, I think you'd enjoy this one too. It's definitely not good enough to make me shit myself, but I wouldn't say it's so bad I need to stop watching. The animation, average, but since the source material is interesting, I see no issue with this. It's not like this is an action anime, so I feel it's not fair to treat it as such. The anime has a lot to offer. If you're anything like me, then I think you'd appreciate the story much more than the visuals. In conclusion, the show seems to be a Chinese propaganda to get married to a terrorist. Still, it receives my utmost recommendation. Sure, it's probably not gonna be a 10, but after a few episodes, I'm intrigued and will continue to watch more. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. There's one more shoujo anime this season I will be talking about, so stay tuned for more.